By the way, that is a lot of fake news back there. That's a lot.
Well, fake news has always been embedded in our culture. It just wasn't called that. The supermarket rags gave popularized blatantly fake news with front-page images of aliens impregnating unsuspecting, usually large-breasted earthling women. So if fake news by other names has always been around, why does it suddenly become the stuff of daily headlines during the 2016 campaign? I did a little digging and I traced the effort to a nonprofit called First Draft, which appears to be about the first to use the phrase fake news in its modern context. Exactly 1 month later, President Obama chimed in.
If fake news that's being released by some foreign government, it's not surprising that that foreign propaganda will have a greater effect, because it doesn't seem that far-fetched compared to some of the other stuff that folks are hearing from domestic propagandists.
What if the whole anti-fake news campaign was an effort on somebody's part to keep us from seeing or believing certain websites and stories? So I wondered, who's behind the massive effort to direct our attention onto fake news?
Spread of fake news online, a threat to democracy. Facebook and other social media sites are being criticized for not doing enough to stop bogus stories that seem to dominate the election cycle.
This week, social media giants Facebook and Google said they will go after hoax websites by restricting ad revenue.
I wanted to know who was funding the nonprofit First Draft and its anti-fake news effort. I found the answer. It was Google. Google's parent company Alphabet was run by a man named Eric Schmidt. Eric Schmidt, as it happens, had devoted himself to Hillary Clinton's election campaign. His company funded First Draft around the start of the election cycle. Not surprisingly, Hillary was soon to jump aboard the anti-fake news train.
It's now clear that so-called fake news can have real-world consequences.
The anti-fake news campaign backfired. Each time advocates cried fake news, Donald Trump called them fake news until he'd co-opted the term so completely. In fact, it's now commonly misreported that it was Donald Trump who thought up the phrase.
After President Trump redeployed a small number of troops out of northern Syria, ABC News ran footage of what it said was the Turkish hellfire raining down on our ally, or sometime ally, the Kurds. Only later did we find out the footage was not of the Turkish invasion at all. The footage came from a Kentucky gun show in 2017.
Nearly every scene or image that crosses our path in daily life, he said, was put there for a reason, often by someone who paid a lot of money to place it there.